is everyone have their own reason and everyone have their own request. I'm talking about Jim's voice. So
Right.
that's why I tackle their reasons in their own arena,
Right.
in their own space. But if I'm gonna do voice and tonality means I'm gonna figure that out from their voice. They can change their voice. How about if they be in someone else? So yeah, but how about if they act like a Ruby, then they become Emerald? That's why I learned how to be adaptable. As soon
Right.
as I figured that's why I'm asking these three open questions. So as soon as I get them, they're in. And I never really. One guy said, another guy giving a feedback. I never really care about gems, about the tonality. I never really pay attention to that bullshit. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So I didn't want it to affect me
Right.
mentally because, and it doesn't make no sense. But that's them. And I said, okay, let me ask you a question. Have you closed any deals? No. So what give you a right to speak and say your idea works? So he asked me, how about you? Have you closed any? I said, I can be honest with you. I'm studying with people who close, and I'm duplicating their style. So that's the difference between you and I.
Right.
You never close, but for me, I'm duplicating. So I mean, I don't want to say I'm closed, but eventually I'm going to be closing
Right.
because the people hear what they're closing, right?
Right.
So he didn't know what to say. He kept quiet, but I just felt like, oh man, this is really getting crazy a little bit. This guy's, messing me up.
Yeah.
I want to really role play with people who really, know the system,
Right.
so it makes me
Right.
stronger.
It helps, but like I said, the best thing to do is to do it, record it, listen to them, and go, okay, thanks, and leave.
Right, right,
That's
right.
truthfully the best thing to do. There's no point in
Yeah.
arguing with them because it's not going to help. So it's
Right,
just a
right.
matter of going, yeah, I want to do this. I want to get these role plays in. And then when they go, well, why you do this? Why you do this? Well, it's just what I'm practicing right now. Thanks for your help. Bye.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Because
Exactly,
it's
exactly.
no point in messing with them at all, at all. So, all right. Well, let's try to get some in here and see where you're at.
Sure.
Where would you be comfortable stopping at right now? Going toward the pain part or stopping at the agenda, initial
Uh,
contact agenda?
Stopping at the agenda, that's I'm still working on it.
Okay.
The pain, I mean, that hopefully by next week, hopefully I keep going and tackling that. But I
Gotcha.
guess the agenda will be the best
Okay.
bet.
Sounds like a plan. So, okay,
Okay,
whenever you're
so
ready.
all right, so I'm looking at my script. Okay.
No problem.
Yeah. All right. So ring ring. I mean,
Yeah,
you want me to
ring
call you?
ring. Yeah, go ahead. I'll call you.
Okay. Hi, this is
Ring.
TJ with Boss Consulting.
Hey, TJ. This is Bob. I had a call scheduled with you guys today.
Oh, sure, Bob. Bob, can you confirm your last name?
Yeah, it's Bob Arnold.
Bob Arnold. Okay, just want to make sure I have you scheduled with me today. Yes, I do have you. We have an appointment with you today, and thank you for being on time.
Yeah, no problem.
Actually, Bob, how did you find out about John?
Yeah, I was looking online and just looking through a few different videos, and a video popped up about him talking about goal setting and planning and stuff. And so I looked at that video and then kind of followed back to I guess the Facebook group, and I saw some more. He did like a live webinar, and I watched that. And so, yeah, I ended up booking this call because it seems like something pretty interesting. Maybe something I can use on my job.
Sure. And Bob, actually, what did you like best about this Facebook or YouTube or when you're watching all these videos?
Well, I mean, it seems like I really like the goal setting and planning. It really made sense to me to map out your plan. 5, 10 years in advance and backtrack it till today, because that's kind of how we do my construction business. When we, come up to a new job, we just map out what the end product's going to be, and we backtrack it till today. But I've never looked at it in far as using that in my life, so that really made sense to me. And so yeah, I've actually been trying to do that right now. So that
Sure.
really caught my attention. And so I think with the communication skills, that he teaches, it could help me. Some folks say I'm not really a good communicator, but yeah, so just always can improve yourself.
Oh, okay, sounds good. Sounds good. I do like your observation and your take on. It sounds like you watch the Facebook and YouTube. So are you like you've been a John follower for a while?
No, just like I said, it's been maybe about 2 weeks now since I saw that first video, and then I went to the group and saw a couple other ones, and then the actual the webinar presentation where he talked about the course. So
Sure, sure. Okay, Bob. So before we jump into it, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
um, sure. What else do you want to know?
Um, I mean, your job situation, your family situation, just to get to
Well,
know a little bit about you.
mhm. Well, like I said, I work for I'm a construction manager for BPS Construction, so project manager with them, and I've been working with them for like the last 7 years. I started out just on the job, and then I worked my way up to manager. Um, we just do smaller construction, commercial constructions. So that's kind of what we've been really working on these last few years. Uh, I have a wife and one kid, one daughter. So yeah, I think that's about it, right?
Okay, okay, sounds good. Sounds great. Awesome. So what we're gonna do right now, Bob, I'm gonna give you an information and about the program itself. And I will try to answer all your questions. And if it is a good fit for you and us, it should be a yes sign. Sign me up or move, let's move forward. Everything would be great. If it is not a good fit, you Bob, or it's not a good fit for you, Bob, or for some reason you don't feel like it's something that you qualify for, something that we feel like you don't qualify for some reason, or something that you feel like you don't like. You have the right to say no. It is perfectly okay to tell me no. I'm a big boy, and we can do that. We really don't want to, like, yes, maybe, or at the end. And so we really don't want to waste each other time, or each other time. So how's that? Does that sound fair to you?
Sure.
Sure. So if we can, and if we can agree to this, I mean, if we can agree to this as a small agreement, even if you feel like it's not. Oh, sorry about that.
All right.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So major feedback on the whole thing, the main thing.
Okay.
It sounds like you're very nervous with the things because otherwise it will be clean questions.
Okay.
Okay. Because your questioning is not clean. And when I say that, it means like this. If I want to ask you how old you are, that's
Yeah.
my question. When I'm not clean, when I'm nervous, I'll say something like this. So, Tarik, how old are you, man? I mean, what year were you born? Because I was kind of born, around 73. What year were you born?
Mhm.
You see how you ask the question, but then you ask like 5 or 6 other little things around it, trying to make it okay.
Okay.
So what you have to do is ask those questions very clean, no
Okay.
extras to it. Okay. So your first one that was like that was before we get into it, tell me a little bit more about yourself.
Mhm.
Then it was a little, tell me a little bit more about yourself, so I can kind of get to know you. No, just say it clean.
Okay.
Yeah, say it very cleanly. Which gym type was I playing?
Because you said you're a manager and you said you have married, you have one kid.
Nope.
Uh,
See, you're talking about stuff that's in rapport. This is not where you decide which gym type it is. You need to
yeah.
know that before you get there. So
Right. Right.
based on my
The way you spoke. Yeah.
energy, and then my response to what did I see,
Sure.
that's where you
Sure.
make your decision. So that's what I should be hearing. The
So
tone, the energy, and what did I respond back to you at that? What did you like best about
I think to me it sounds emerald,
it? Okay, why?
because your voice was low and your energy was low as well,
Okay,
and you are very slow. I mean, you're answering questions, but you're like more.
What was my answer to what did I like best?
Yeah, so you like best because you talk about Facebook. You saw the Facebook. You like the goals and settings. So like goals and settings, people make plans. Most the emeralds, they like the word planning.
Yes, but
Right?
remember what I say. That's
Yeah.
what you're listening for. What I say. I like the organization. I like the
Yes.
planning. I do that on my job now. That's what you're listening for. So
Yes.
really pay attention to that. See the first two questions. You're just listening for how they sound, how strong the voice is, how energetic they are. Then the most important one to finalize, because usually based on the first talking, you'll either say they're sapphire, ruby, or emerald pearl.
Right.
Now, based on the answer to what did you like best, you really got to pay attention and listen to the words that person says.
Right.
That will solidify it to which gem type it is. Because once you know which gem type, now you have to ask those questions and reply based on that gem type. So when you were building a rapport, it was pretty quick. So also in the beginning, when you asked me what did I like best, I told you I work in construction.
Yeah, that one I didn't catch, so I wasn't paying attention.
But see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
The whole reason why you get these tools is so you can focus on the listening. So you already know. See, this question right here is very simple. What'd you like best about the webinar? See, that's very simple. Now I can do this. I'm listening. I'm writing down what the person says. See, when you're caught up really thinking about what to say next, is it going to be okay to say this? You don't listen because you're thinking about you too much. So you have to get out of your head. Just use the questions directly as they are. Before we get into it, tell me a little bit more about yourself. What do you want to know? Okay, so if I respond back with that, what do you want to know? I already got your job situation. So I now say, what about wife, kids, stuff like that? Now I can clarify on the job. You told me you were in construction. How long have you been doing that? But remember, every time they respond, you still have to reply to connect.
Right.
So you missed that part too. So when I said, I've been in construction for the last 7 years. That's where now that if you knew this person is Emerald, wow, as a manager, you really got to run a lot of people and control and manage a lot of different things. So you must be pretty organized. What about wife, kids, stuff like that? You see how that reply connects to their personality.
Right.
All right. And then same thing for your agenda. It was kind of the same way. It was like, I'm going to do this, But so, you added a lot. Just be clean with it. Very clean. Because it works. You don't have to add anything to it. You don't have to do anything else to it. Just use it exactly like it is. And once you start getting that success with this and understand these pieces, then you'll be able to do this anytime you want. With anything. You can make your own stuff. But right now, the boss script itself is a tool that I'm using to teach you, because I use the long agenda because I want to be able later to teach you how to use the tonality to make that long agenda not seem so long to people. Okay. So that's why we use everything that's in the script exactly like it is, because that's the teaching tool right now. Later on, you'll be using all kind of other scripts. Hold up.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, training, man. You go train in the gym. I train here on the computer. My son just came in from DC. Come say hi. Yeah, just say hi. Yeah, he's here for the same thing we're here actually for. So
cool.
How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Pretty good. Trying to stay cool.
See, he still got his hair, so he get to play with all that. So stick directly to what the script is, and just be confident in the script, and it'll work for you. Okay. So let's go ahead and do another one. Remember your questions. Be clean, clean, exact questions and take the time to listen and use those tools. Remember your rapport building tool. Question, listen to reply to connect, next question. That's a tool. So anytime you're doing your role plays, you got to be able to say, okay, what's all my tools? Your tool for figuring out the gym type is that graph. So you should have that graph there. So you can see it. Every time you do another role play or a practice, you should just draw that little graph. Because on the bottom left of that graph, this side should have pearl, because that's low energy, low tone. The bottom right should be emerald, low energy, stronger tone. The upper right should be sapphire, high energy, high tone. The upper left should be ruby, higher energy but lower tone. So using those tools, this is why, once again, I set you guys up to where it's very simple. If you just use those things, it'll make it very simple for you to go ahead and identify the gym types. And now that I'm thinking about it, what I should do is make an actual PDF document for this. And I think I will. So that's a great thing. You helped me out now. So I'm going to make that for you guys. A role play PDF document to where you guys can just look for gym type. You can look for the questioning sequence. You can look for all that stuff and it'll be right there for you. All right. So I'll try to get that done before this week is up. So, all right, let's go to the next one. You ready? Tell me when you're ready.
Ready?
All right. Ring, ring.
Hello, this is Tarik with Post Consulting.
Hi, Tarik. This is Paul. I had a call scheduled with you right now. So I was, is it still okay to do the call right now?
Oh, awesome, Paul. Let me verify your name. What's your last name, Paul?
Gauge. Gauge. Paul Gauge.
Okay, yeah. I just want to make sure I have you here. So yes, I do see you here. We have a scheduled call today at the same time. So thank you for being on time. Thank you for being on time.
Oh yeah, no
Paul.
problem.
And Paul, how did you find out about us? How did you find out about the boss?
It was a friend of mine. He was, I guess, I don't know if he's in your guys' program or he was just looking through it or something, but he was telling me that, this was a good program to learn, some better communication skills and, sales, a little bit sales, but more to communication. And I'm kind of looking to do something like that right now. So I looked at some of the actual stuff that was online, YouTube, and the videos are really, really good. And so I said, well, let's just see if I can, the course might be something that would help me. So yeah, I looked into it and saw that he does offer this call to, to get some more information about the course. So I booked the call.
Oh, so actually, Paul, what did you like best about the videos that you watched?
Well, it seems like he actually kind of breaks it down a little bit more for me. I think most times it's really kind of general information that people give you, and I just need a little bit more detail, a little bit more help so I can really kind of figure the junk out myself. But he also talked about that the people, when we were in the program, they work with you on a more one-on-one basis. So I really like that because it shows that they really care and they're not just trying to take your money and stuff like that. So yeah, that made a big difference for me.
Sounds good. Paul. Before we jump into it, can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Right now I work for a Boys and Girls Club. I manage the club, and so we work with about 50 kids right now after school and sometime before school. And it's really good. Just like working with the children. And I've been doing that now since, I don't know, maybe 6 years now. And it's a pretty good job. But I just need some to get a little bit better, you know, far as working with folks, so I can maybe apply for some of these bigger positions, you know.
So, yeah, I understand. Awesome, but I mean, you work with the boys and girls club. I mean, you manage the club. I do have two daughters, and sometimes it's very hard to manage two of them. How do you get the time to really spend and manage these kids?
Well, you know, there's a few other people that work with me to make sure everything was done, but you know, I am kind of, I guess, a pushover. The kids kind of get what they want when they're messing with me, but it's still fun. I mean, we get the things done that we need to, and everything's finished. You know, everything's good at the end. So,
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And how long you been working at the club?
like I said, about 6 years.
Oh, 6 years. Okay, I apologize. 6 years. Wow. And have you done anything else before that?
No, I was in school before then. So after I graduated, that's when I went directly into that job. I just really fell into it because I was working interning with them during the summers, and so they offered me a position as soon as I graduated. So
Oh, great, great. And any family situation? I mean, are you married or
no,
single?
no.
Okay, single. How about your? Can you tell me a little bit more about your life and why you got stuck here? I got stuck here. I wanted to know like more like if you tell me, hey, I want to know about the course. I'm interested in the course. I was about to jump into it, but then I got stuck about the that you single parent and you only 6 years working in the boys club. So
And I didn't
and
say
I
single
definitely
parent. You said
no, I
about
mean
single,
what I mean
and I said
single
no.
person.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
single. All right. So which gym type was I playing?
You definitely you are playing Emerald again
Okay, why?
because you mentioned you manage the club.
Nope, I'm going
And
into
I
the
asked,
club. Don't think about the stuff I said in
no, okay, I'm
rapport.
sorry. I'll tell
Always,
you.
it always has to come from those first three questions. So you have to talk
Yes.
to me about the.
Yeah, so you are talking about the from the first question I got the tone. The tone is it's
Okay.
low, right?
Okay, so
And
tone is low,
energy.
so that puts you at emerald pearl. That puts you at pearl emerald.
Yes,
So remember,
right.
the final question is what makes you decide. So what did I
Yes.
say in that? What did you like best about it that made you decide that I was emerald?
You mentioned that you like the way he I, I thought I wrote it down, but I wrote down about the club, but I didn't really catch. I know you said you watched videos and
Yeah,
from your
that's what I.
friend. Your friend told you about it,
True.
and
But
and
the
as
most important question that you asked there is what did you like best about the video or what caught your attention the most? That is the most important question that you ask. That's where you
yeah,
have to listen and write down the thoughts that that person says. So each
yeah,
block of thought have to be captured somehow, maybe in a couple of words that you write down or one word, because once you capture those words, it shows you what that person thinking about.
mm, yeah. I think is that okay to go to ask you that question again?
Sure.
I just wanted to pick that up.
Sure.
What did you like best about the webinar or YouTube that you watched?
Well, it seems like they really have everything broken down really good, and that one of the things I really like is that they work with you one-on-one to really make sure you understand everything and help you along the way. Because I definitely need a lot of help myself in doing this, and it seems he was really genuine, that he cares about your success and not just the money.
Okay, got it. So from that, because you said broken down, like in pieces. So I
That's
mean,
one piece. Tell
yeah,
me every section of the conversation that I wrote down that you wrote. So broken down. What's the next thing that you wrote?
broken down. I wrote broken down, and then I wrote working one-on-one
Okay.
on the program, and then yeah, that's the two things that I caught.
Okay. So now, what I want you to
Oh,
go
genuine and genuine. Use the word genuine. So
genuine. So what does that
and
mean?
That means a pro.
What you
Yeah,
have to
because
do, I'm telling you exactly what you need to do. You need to go back to week
yeah,
1 and look at that gym type description, because there's words that each of the gyms use.
got it, got it. So
And
they
that's what
mentioned
you
some
have
words.
that's what you have to be listening for. See, pearls
Right.
is support, help, genuine, work with me, scared, uh, need, I need. Those are pearl words,
Right.
so you have to listen for those words, just like the emerald words or organization, make sense, structure, plan, settings. Those are emerald words. That's what you're listening for in that.
So now, yeah. So now remember, you mentioned broken down in
True,
pieces, but
but that's
sometimes
just
it's only
one
one.
piece.
Yeah. So you will look at how many things that, let's say, because you said that work with me, so work together one on
Yes,
one, right? You sound like the person's scared to be by themselves. He needs somebody to
yes,
lead them,
genuine.
right?
I need help.
Yes.
See,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
all pearl words. And
Right.
when you take that based on what they already said, that you already know they're in a pearl emerald setting, I mean, then that way now you're leaning more towards pearl.
Right. Right.
Okay?
So the more words they say relates to the gym.
Yes,
Sometimes I could say one word that
right.
relates to another gym, but the more words they say, that's how you. Yeah, I got
Exactly.
it.
That's why you got to get them talking.
Right.
Get
That's
them
why
talking.
it throws you off when they say, like, I own, like I manage a club, but then they say I love working with people, blah blah. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's the
Mhm.
person's talking about managing, now he's talking about. So yeah, I
But
got you.
listen
I
though,
got
what else did I say when
you.
I work with the club? I said I'm a real pushover. They get what they want with me.
Right, right, right.
What's that? That's
You're
pearl. That's pearl.
yes,
You
yes.
get pushover. So once again, you have to really focus
They
on that.
get what they want. So you like because you like working with people, so you give them what they want, right?
Well, I
Yeah.
like working with the
Oh,
kids. So
yeah.
remember, pearls are family, help. They want to make a difference in the world.
Right, right.
So
Got it.
those are things you listen for also. So, but remember, in those first 3 questions, that's where you have to identify the gym type.
Right,
All right, so you ready
right.
again?
Oh man, I'm trying to get this. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. Ready?
Okay, hold on. Make sure I got my character correct. Let me see. Um, all right, ring ring.
Hello, this is Tarik with Boss Consulting. Who I'm speaking with?
This is Jim. I had a call scheduled with you this time.
Oh, hey Jim. What's your last name, Jim?
Jim Dunnan. Dunnen. Dunnan.
Dunnan.
Mhm.
Yes, I do have you here, Jim. I do have a time for a schedule for us, and thank you for being on time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Jim, what got you on? Oh, sorry about that. Jim, how could I help you today?
Nope.
Uh,
How did you find
okay.
out about us? That's
Oh
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
question.
I'm sorry, I messed
No
up. I
problem.
don't know why I messed up. I know these 3 questions by
Yeah,
heart,
and
but
if you have to, every time
yeah.
you're going to role play, write them down. Write
Okay.
everything down in front of you so that way you can see it every time you're going to do it. You just read the question, listen. Read the question,
Yeah.
listen, because that way you don't have to think about it as much. All right?
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. So actually, Jim, how did you find out about John?
Well, I was looking on YouTube, and I was doing some looking around for different videos and stuff, just trying to figure out a few questions I had, and I saw this one video I think he made is like why mindset training is BS, and I had already been working with I guess another person on mindset training, and so it caught my attention, and I watched it, and in the video they also had a link, so I followed that link and watched the other presentation, and then I booked this call.
Awesome, Jim. So by watching that mindset training video, what caught your attention the most? that video?
But I mean, he just really kind of seemed to understand it a little better than, you know, even the guy I'm, I guess, paying for right now. That we've been really kind of focusing on, you know, a lot of self-talk instead of actually winning, you know. And I think, you know, he made a really good point of that you need to actually win to be more self-confident. And yeah, he just kind of, it made a lot of more sense than what I've been doing already. And so I wanted to learn more from him and see what else he has available.
Awesome, awesome. So, Jim, before we dive right into the course, and reason you're calling today, I would like to know a little bit about yourself first. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I work here at Flower Shop. I've been doing that for about the last 6-7 years, and I have a girlfriend, and she has a kid. So, but I don't have a kid that I know of. So, so yeah, is that good enough?
Kids? Yeah, that's good. How old is how old is the kid that your girlfriend has?
That's 8-year-old boy.
8-year-old boy. Wow, I do have two girls, so 6 and 7, and they act like they are teenagers. So how's your relationship with that kid, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, no problem. Yeah, we get along really fine. I mean, he's a really good kid, and you know, I like kids, and so it's not an issue, and we get along really good.
Good, and awesome. And about the mother, how long you have you been in a relationship?
It's been 3 years now.
3 years. Wow. Uh, and were you married before, or do you have any other relationship before beside her? I mean, 3 years.
No, just, you know, I had some other relationships, but nothing serious. So
Okay. And you said that you've been working in a flower shop. Is that something that you love to do? Is that a hobby, or is just a job?
I mean, I don't mind it. I like the job. It's not a bad job.
Why you say that? What do you mean it's
I,
not
I'm
bad?
not. It's a job, though. You know, I don't mind. I like being out and working with the flowers, and uh, I'd rather if it was, you know, really out of the city a little bit more and more in the nature a little bit more. But you know, hey, you have to take what you have.
Hmm. So it's that you want to be out of the cities. Is you want to be like somewhere out in adventure or somewhere out there that you is there a specific place that you like to go to?
Not really.
Because you said you like to be out in a different place. So is that you don't like where you are right now?
We'll pause. Where are we at
Okay.
in the conversation right now?
No, I just want to know exactly because I know I don't want to jump into like why you on the call and I mean like why post consulting why has changed now. So I was getting ready to set the agenda, right?
But remember,
But
in the rapport, what's the only two pieces of information we need to get?
it's the family and job.
That's it.
I already got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because see, what will happen is if you keep doing what you're doing, you're gonna go into pain.
Got it. Yeah. That's why I asked you about why you said that. You know, like
Yeah, I
why
know.
you
But
sound.
so since you already got that information,
Yeah.
you keep that in your mind for when you go into the pain.
Yes. Right.
So now you set the agenda, and now you go, why blank, why now, what has changed? And you're listening because now you already got that kind of picture. It's going that way. But
Right.
if you start going there too early, you take the fun out. See, remember, in core, you want the person to be happy.
Right.
You start talking about why is your job suck, they're not going to be happy. I don't want to talk about why my job suck. I want to get in this program. So you want to talk about the fun stuff right there. So which gym type was I playing?
You were because you said that you work in a flower shop.
You talk about the job. Remember, always start with the first 3 questions.
Yeah, and you don't have a family. You've been in a relationship.
First 3 questions.
Oh, what did you like best?
Yes, it's always that. Always.
Yeah.
Like, never go into the rapport part because you have to be doing rapport based off of what you already know.
Yeah.
So tell me what you already found out in the first opening questions. What was the
Yeah.
person's personality type?
Yeah, this messed me up. My daughter took my paper and
No
I
problem.
didn't, because they really they supposed to be with their mother, but they had them today because their mother had something to do. So
It's all right. You're going to have a lot of stuff that comes on and happens.
yeah.
The phone might die. Your computer might be falling apart. So you got to be able to go through. And that's why, once again, these questions, these questions and the purpose behind them has to be internalized to you. You have to know these 3 questions. It's the only questions I have to identify the gym type. So based off of that, how did I sound and what did I say to, and what's gym type that you get from that?
Yeah. So for me, from what I got from that, it sounds like a Ruby somehow, because number one, you mentioned about the mindset. You watched the mindset goal settings, right? So I was thinking about the planning. Correct. That could be, you could be Emerald too from the voice.
The mindset was BS. So what did I say about that training?
Yeah. So you said something that really caught your attention, is that when you said something about winning.
Okay.
Right? You said you have to win.
What did I tell you I was doing? Why did the mindset training catch my attention?
Because all the other person that you were training with, they were telling you like you have to trying to look at the paper.
Yeah. I'm already going through mindset training already. So what does that tell you? But listen though, what does that tell you already? I'm already going through mindset training, trying to be a winner.
Yes.
What does that tell you about that person?
That tell a person that already, if they're going through a mindset training, means they're trying to shift their mind.
Right. No? From what to what?
From how the way they think to how the way they're supposed to think.
How did I tell you I'm thinking about?
And you said that he says that because you have that mindset, it's BS, right?
Right, but how did I tell you my mindset is, and compared to what the video was telling me?
So that means that you see it this way, but now the way you explain it's in a different way. It resonated with you.
Why am I going through the mindset training?
Oh, the mindset training, so I can shift my mind to win.
Why? I know, but so if I want to switch to winning, what am I doing?
Yeah. Switch winning goal settings.
No,
planning.
If I want to switch my mind to winning, what am I doing right now?
Taking right now. Hold on.
What's the opposite of winning? If I want to switch,
means I'm failing. I'm losing.
So, what type of personality feels that they're losing?
Feels losing. Wow, that's Pearl.
Yes, Pearl.
Yeah, and that's why there's another thing, because you said that you support you have a girlfriend that has a kid, right? So that means you're being supportive for the kid.
Well, see, once again, you can't use that though. You only can use in those first 3 questions. So I told you the other guy was telling me that it's not. I like the way that was presented in the video, because in order to win, he focuses on giving you little wins, because the other guy only focuses on self-talk.
Got it. Yeah. So now I caught it.
Yeah, so you gotta pay. Like I said, this is the reason. Once again, you gotta get these repetitions in, because the more you start hearing that, the quicker you identify those gems.
Right.
You gotta identify that gem type in order to ask the right questions later. Because see, this is a tip for anything. If you find out the person is a pearl, your tonality has to change immediately.
Mm-hmm.
See, because when a pearl, you're talking to that pearl, when you're being aggressive, like, hey, oh man, that's really awesome. That's pushing that pearl back. So when you find out, that's why it's important to identify the gem, because if you find out it's a pearl, now your tone has to drop and you have to become very caring and very understanding from that point on. So if I'm saying, hey, how did you find out about the program? And they say, oh, well, you know, I was looking at this and this and this, and I started noticing that pearl, I'm going to drop my tone. Yeah, you know, his program is really, really cool. So I understand you caught that too. So before we go into it, man, tell me a little bit more about you. You see how my tone now has dropped to really caring psychologist understanding, because that's the tone that they like. They like that. So identifying the gem type is critical. Same thing if you get a Ruby on there and you hear that Ruby saying, yeah, I want to add some more money to my businesses right now. I'm doing this. Now you don't want to go, okay, so, I mean, I hear you saying that. That's very nice. So tell me a little bit more about yourself. Because that Ruby's going, who the fuck is this? You know, I'm not no Dr. Phil. Talk to me like a man. And that Ruby wants you to talk like that. Hey, man, I mean, before we go into this, tell me more about you, man. Let me know more about yourself. So you have to, in those 3 questions, know the words that those people are going to say, identify the situation that's going on if they speak to you by listening and putting together the picture, because that's what I gave you just now, a whole picture. So when I told you I looked at the mindset, first off, by me identifying that the mindset BS right there, that should have told you something's wrong with the person. The person's having some mental problems. Not that they're crazy, but that's what caught their attention. That mindset was BS. Then I gave you the story that I'm working with someone already on my mindset, which that should tell you again, this person now is not believing in themselves, all this, that's putting them directly in pearl line right there. And so these are things, like I said, you'll have to practice on, you have to get a lot better with, but through time, you'll see it. You'll see it a lot quicker. And once you do that, all the rest of the stuff makes sense. The rest of the questions, the rapport, all that stuff will line up and really make sense. So really keep practicing on just that part. Go back once again and look at the definitions of these gem types. Think to yourself, what's the words that these guys are going to say? Listen to other people role play. Try to identify their gem type just by listening to them. Some of the things they say, because you got to do that before you start building rapport. So that's kind of a little bit more of, I guess, more homework for you to do. Start listening to other people role play and just listen to how the person is sounding, what they say, the words, and try to identify the gem types. Cool.
It's a great tip, because I think that's what I need to do. It's as soon as I know the words, and the more repeated words, I can tell which I can tackle. Yeah, you're right.
Because remember, on the tone is already going to put you either at one of 2, emerald, pearl, or sapphire, ruby. That's based on the strength of the tone. So as soon as you say, how did you find out about us? Listen for that strength of their voice right there. Yeah, well, you know, like just right now, let's just do a real quick practice. So,
okay.
All right. So I'm just going to answer the question. How did you find out about us? And you tell me whether it's emerald sapphire ruby sapphire or pearl emerald. Okay. So yeah, I was watching some YouTube videos and I saw one of the videos pop up on the right side of the screen. So I just clicked it and it led me to the webinar. Which gem type?
That sounds like ruby.
Okay, so strength of voice.
Emerald, one of them, yeah.
Strong voice. So remember, you just write at that point. You're just going 1, 2. Emerald, ruby. Okay.
Strength voice. I would say, because you were popping up and you looked at the site, so it sounds like more like emerald or ruby. I can't tell.
Strength of voice. Yeah. All you're listening for. Remember, you're not trying to think about what they're all the stuff they're saying right there.
Sure.
All you're listening for right there is the strength of their voice and the energy. That's all you're doing in those first 2 questions. All right, so let's do another one. How did you find out about our program? Well, I mean, I was looking on the YouTube and I saw, you know, the guy in the shiny red suit pop up and it looked really cool. I looked at the videos and I thought I could do it.
Yeah, so that sounds a sapphire for me.
Yep, high energy. So high energy.
High energy. Yeah.
Yep. So high energy always puts you now at that.
And a strong voice, right? High energy and strong voice.
Yep, high energy,
right?
strong voice. So tone
Okay.
and energy. Okay. All right. So do another one. How did you find out about this program? Well, I was in a meeting and I popped out. A friend of mine told me that this would be something really good for me. And I looked at some of the videos. He seemed like he broke down a lot of things that I was interested in. So I decided to look at a few more videos. I think I watched about 10 or 11 videos in total. And then I booked this call.
Okay, that's Emerald.
Yeah. So remember, this is what you need. Yeah, this is what you have to do all the time. So remember, have your questions already written. Don't worry about the questions. The questions work. Believe in the questions. Just read the questions. Listen. Really pay attention to the person so you can identify that gym type, because now when you go into the rapport, you can ask the questions that will connect to them and reply correctly. That's the most important in that whole initial contact part. Okay. So you can do it. It's just, I think you're caught up with some of the other stuff. You know, what do I say next? Don't worry about it. That's why you got the script. If you have to, once again, write down all the questions and just say it exactly. Every time you ask a question, you should know what you're listening for next. Maybe you need to write that down. How did you find out about us? Listen for tone. Listen for energy. Did you watch the webinar? Listen for tone. Listen for energy. What did you like best about the webinar? Listen for keywords. Listen for indicators of gym type. Because that way now, that's all you're doing. You ask the question, then do it. Okay, Emerald. Now, when you go into rapport, also another thing I want to tell you, don't when they say, well, what do you want to know? Don't say family, don't say situation, like job situation, family. Say, what do you do for a living? You know, what's your job? How long you been doing it? Stuff like that. Or, you know, wife, kids, single, stuff like that. So don't say the job situation, family situation, because that sounds more colder about it.
Yeah, you're right. No, definitely. So I'm thinking about this. He told me if it's I'm looking at it now. I'm thinking, what should I do? Which number one is concentrate about the initial contact. The first one, the 3 questions, which is how did you get about
listening? See, the questions are there. You got to concentrate on listening and identifying that gym type. So like I told you, what I'm going to do is make maybe a little PDF spreadsheet for you guys to be able to look at that sheet, because the questions are there just to go, okay, tone is this, energy is this. Okay, maybe this is what he is. And see, once you got to kind of at least the 2 possibilities, when you start to build rapport, that's why I told you can reply with one gym type and ask a question in another gym type, because now you see which one they catch on to identify the personality correctly. So you don't know whether it's Emerald or Pearl, and the person says, yeah, I'm married with 5 kids, been in the military, and have a couple of businesses. If you don't know if they're Emerald or Pearl, what you can say is, wow, sounds like you got a lot of things going on. You must be really organized. Now, what's some of the things you do with your family? I mean, so whichever one they bite on will kind of let you identify. If they go, yeah, I have been, I use a real good system to manage my time, and we do some of these things with my kids. See, what they identify first will show you which gym type they are.
Yeah. No, that's a good thing. Yeah, that's a good.
That's a tool. Once again, that's a tool. So, but the first thing is to identify it up front, which you can just by make sure you're listening to what they're saying and putting that picture into your mind. All right.
Right. So lastly, I'm just gonna share this with you. So all I'll do is when I say the 3 questions, I'll make sure I have them, and I'm gonna listen to the voice, the tone first, if it's the strength of the voice, and then the energy, if it's high or low, and I can put down on the side which one, right? And then I make another box. I have another box is words. Like when they talk, like what did you like best?
Right.
And when I ask that question, I'm going to be listening also to the voice again, and also to the words they say.
The words, right? Key words, yep. Help, money, more, fun, support, consistent. you know, all these, there's different words. So what you're saying is really good. So yeah, I'll
And
try
lastly,
to make a tool for
yeah,
that.
and lastly, like after they, I asked them, tell me a little bit about yourself, and then I'm gonna gather some information. Then when I ask to connect and ask a question, like you said about, oh, so you manage, you know, you look like you have so much on your plate. You manage this and that. You know, how about how you get time to spend with your family, and if
Right.
you see which one you're talking about.
But
Yeah.
what's the rapport building sequence? The sequence of that.
Yeah, it's
Remember-
which is ask question, listen, reply to connect, and then ask the next question.
There you go. And that's the reply is where you're speaking to that gym type. And if you have a free question, then you can use that question to now also ask a question in that gym type also. So
Right. So for me to know exactly, you know what I'm saying? For me to know exactly, just to be sure, I got all the stuff from that first one, like 3 questions. I got the voice, I got the words. Just for me to make sure I got it right, that's when I ask the 2 questions with 2 options.
You
like
could, but you don't need, you should not have to use that. You should know. You should know before you go in there, because otherwise you're kind of wasting time in that point. So once again, my thing is efficient and effective. So if you know the gym type going in, at least make an assumption. Okay, they're either pearl or emerald. Sounds more emerald, so I'm going to ask a technical question, or I'm going to reply technically. And then once again, from there, when you find out their job, that also helps you. If you're thinking the person is either a pearl or emerald, and they tell you, "Oh, I work at an IT firm," emerald, no thoughts.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah. No, sounds good. I like it. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that.
All right, man. Well, like I said, it was good talking to you again, and I'm gonna get in here and see what's gonna go on the rest of the day here. So I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, boss. Appreciate it, boss. Have a good day. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.